and raised in Compton.
Born and raised in the hub.
And your whole family from Compton, right?
Yeah, we're 5 generations in. I'm 3 of 5. My grandmother moved to Richland Farms. She was, it had to be back in the early 60s. She was the first black person on her block over in Richland Farms.
And this is when it was more of an agricultural city?
Yeah, and it's still agricultural over there. It's, it still looks like the country. Still no sidewalks. Everybody's on a half-acre land. We had cows, pigs, sheep, geese, rabbits, all this in the backyard,
And do you think that's a part of Compton that people that live in modern times that look at it just as a suburb of LA don't really know about in terms of the agricultural history?
Compton is it's full of stereotypes. When you hear Compton, you just expect everybody to either say blood or cuz after every word. You expect to see Chuck Taylors and khakis, Jerry curls and cornrows. Like that's the stereotype. So to answer your question, no, nobody knows about the agricultural history in Compton.
What did you learn about Compton just from your family, since it's so rooted in Compton, going back probably, 50, 60 years maybe?
Yeah, we're in 60 years, 60 plus years now. My mom moved to Compton when she was 2 years old. She was in Watts. And what is she, 65 now? So yeah, we're about 63 years in. My family is a direct reflection of the city. It's very diverse. We get a little bit of everything in my family. We have the hard workers. We have the street. We have, I was able to see a little bit of everything. So like I said, in my grandmother's house, we had the farm area. On the east side, it was the city, so we got to see a little bit of everything. My father was a Compton PD, while my grandfather was a street hustler. So, I just got a chance to see a little bit of everything as it comes down to Compton. So that's why I knew Compton was just so diverse, because I lived it.
Now, did you have growing up, did you have a good relationship with your father, the one that became the PD?
No, we didn't much have a relationship until maybe after high school. I knew who he was. He was, not too far, but the relationship was never really there until actually I seeked it after high school. And then we started developing a relationship. By that time, he had retired as a cop, 2 years before I was even born. So it was just to show that how deep he was in Compton. He went to Compton High School. He was all Compton, everything was Compton for him as well. My aunts, my uncles, my mom, everybody was just Compton. So I referenced that to say, we've been here and playing all different sides of it. When you grow up without a father in the hood, you're looking for the masculinity. My whole family is all women. So the only other boy in my family is the same age as my daughter. They're 3 weeks apart. So I had a lot of cousins and aunts, and it was just a lot of women in my family. So you're looking for where you fit in, and you start looking for those things outside the house, because there's not inside the house. So you start to find things more attractive. You're looking at the drug dealers and what they got, and admiring those things. Or you might be looking at the pimps and what they doing, how they responding with the ladies, and that aspect of it. And you just pull in what you feel is masculine from every aspect in life that you can. And coming up in Compton, you didn't have many positive influences, so kind of have to just make the best of what you had.
Now, you were able to navigate these waters and avoid the trappings of street gang life, and I'm assuming the penitentiary life.
Yeah,
What do you attribute that to? When I'm sure you had a lot of friends that end up either getting killed, joining gangs, or going to the pen.
For sure. My mom just always taught me to do my own thing. She was like, man, just don't follow nobody's footsteps. Find out what you want to do. Do it. Have logic and reasoning for the things that you do. And that's what she taught me. That's how I was brought up. So anything that I could do, I could justify by how I felt, by whatever. And if I didn't do it, I can justify that as well. So I was comfortable being in my own skin. And I just kind of chose a different route because of the things that interest me. I was into art. You know, I was into drawing and painting and stuff like that, and that actually turned into being creative and wanting to design clothes. So I'm out here going to school for fashion design. I'm designing evening gowns and dresses and things like that. Still, on the flip side, designing khaki suits and jeans for the homies and putting their hoods and stitches and all that stuff in there too. So it was just, I was always comfortable being who I was, even though I wasn't a part of this. I can maneuver there too. You know, I spoke the same language. I went to the same schools. We played on the same teams, and it just worked out that way. I was just comfortable being in my own skin. So I attribute a lot of the things that I've done to Mom just telling me, you know, not to follow other people's footsteps, kind of pull what you want from certain situations, from certain people, and then add it to your own life and mix it up the best way you know how. And that's kind of what I've been doing my entire life. And I just knew I always wanted to be I wanted to do my own thing. I didn't want to have I didn't want to have no rules. I didn't want nobody to tell me where I could stay. I didn't want nobody to tell me what I could wear. I didn't want nobody to tell me where I could drive, where I could live, none of that. So, and having that mentality, it was like, you know, well, then you got to have your own. You got to boss up, and it just changed my mentality to do what I wanted to do. When you're different, you're going to get tested. The test comes with being different. Otherwise, you're just going to fall in line with everybody else. How strong are you in withstanding those tests? You know, are you gonna run or are you gonna stand your ground? And I was respected for being who I was, standing my ground. It's not easy for everybody. I'm not to say that this is the easiest thing to do, or it was just, you know, just a cakewalk. No, I mean, you have situations where you like, man, this is. Am I gonna fold or am I gonna stand strong? And once you do that a few times, you tend to develop a reputation and respect for yourself. And people tend to leave you alone, let you do your own thing.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.